my last tour vlog episode, I showed you what it was like embarking on a 20-city concert tour with family in tow. We covered the ups and downs of my first 2 tour shows, including the amazing experience of performing for my excited fans, but also dealing with long days, little sleep, and little things going wrong here and there. However, this was all nothing compared to what I was about to experience over the next few days of tour. One time, my 9-year-old, Taylor, came home from school and told me that some of the other kids were not being nice to him and had said some terrible things to him. "You look funny. Your freckles are ugly," to name a few comments. He felt really sad and affected by it. I remember telling him, "You know what though, Taylor? Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you." He looked up at me and gave me the most wise response. He said, "But words do hurt me, Mama, and they hurt me a lot." He was right too. Words do hurt. Whoever came up with that silly saying about sticks and stones obviously hadn't been through anything terrible. But I was about to go through something terrible. Concert number 3 was up on deck, and we were excited for this one because my parents, aka Grandma and Grandpa, were going to be there, so the kids were especially excited.
Mom! Oh, sorry.
So, are you guys excited for tonight?
Riley, are you excited?
My parents were so awesome to come early at noon that day to help load in and set up for that evening's concert. I was especially excited because I love this particular piano.
Good morning from Boise. Here we are at Welsh Music. The gorgeous piano that's actually on my album cover. It's a Yamaha CFX. I'm really excited to play it tonight. It is gorgeous.
Being the 3rd concert of the tour, we were starting to get the hang of loading in and setting up much better. I was also getting more used to performing my tour show. Even with the manual lighting control from stage and the songs that had little imperfections during the first few concerts were starting to work themselves out better. I was starting to learn that at some of these smaller venues, I probably didn't explain to the venue owners that this was a legit show, not just a piano recital. One of the comments I was starting to hear more often than a couple of times was, "Wow, we didn't realize this was a full production. We would have done a much better job at getting the word out. Next time we'll know." Again, this touring thing was totally new for us, so lesson learned. Next time do a better job at describing my show.
Tonight's concert here in Boise. So we're just taking down the loads of equipment. This is what we're doing post-concert. It's really not what I should be eating, but I haven't eaten much today. I'm just thinking what sounds good right now.
The Boise concert was our 3rd show in 1 week, so we were looking forward to having some downtime with my parents.
Hi!
Cool.
Hold up the other boot.
What? Grandpa, did you put your name on?
Okay, we'll put beep on this. How do you spell beep on, Jen?
B.
During our couple of days off with my parents, a really great article came out in the Deseret News in Utah, which is one of their largest media outlets. I was one of the top featured articles in their entertainment section, and the article was all very positive, talking about my recent album, my Utah fan base, and finally also it talked about why I burned up my old piano in the newest music video and a little information behind that. I was quite pleased about the article and was excited about the ripple effect it would hopefully have with helping to fill up the last few seats for my 4 Idaho and Utah concerts the next week. However, I wasn't prepared for one particular ripple effect.
Good morning. This is my first workout in over a week. It was really needed. I needed to get some endorphins flowing and just clear my head.
The day after the article came out, I got a message from one of my fans letting me know that despite whatever people were saying, he supported me and to not let the negativity get to me. Then he linked me to an article on Classic FM. I had no idea what he was referring to, but I noticed the Classic FM link and thought, great! Classic FM reposted my article, that's fantastic. As I started to read, I realized this was not the same article that Deseret News had published, but instead, it was an entirely newly written article by one of Classic FM's writers. Not only was the article full of falsehoods, but it was written with a snarky undertone regarding my burning piano. They made it sound as if I casually decided to burn a very expensive Yamaha piano, quote, in the name of art, when actually I didn't burn any Yamaha pianos, but a very old and very broken beyond repair piano that I'd used as a stunt piano in 4 previous music videos. They'd also pulled quotes and comments from my YouTube channel by fans and made them seem like they were negative comments when actually I know these fans and they weren't intended to be negative at all. And furthermore, I was never once even contacted or interviewed by them, but this article was simply published without permission or clarification. That wasn't even the worst part of it. I started to read the comments on their Facebook post with the article and felt myself sinking lower and lower and lower. The comments went on and on. Within 24 hours, it was one of their most commented on Facebook posts and had the most reactions, more than any of their other recent posts. And it wasn't just Facebook. People were coming onto my YouTube channel now and leaving hateful comments on my videos, disliking videos, and more. I had people commenting on my skills as a composer and a musician, and attacking me on personal levels even though they didn't know me. People were also coming over to my Facebook page and attacking me. I would merely post a picture announcing my next tour concert, and I would get angered reactions for no reason other than I just simply posted something. The article kept getting shared as well. Even other large music media outlets like Keyboard Magazine had shared it, and the negativity would just start all over again with each new major news outlet sharing it. I knew that I shouldn't have allowed myself to read the comments, but I did. And it didn't do me any favors.
That's it. See who's in here. Gee whiz, the internet is so positive. Just a worthless bum alone on a pile of bricks.
First rule of the internet. Do not read the comments. This place can bring out the worst in some people.
In fact, all it did was fester in my mind until the next day as I was getting ready for my Idaho Falls show. I really started to allow it to affect me. As it neared time for me to do soundcheck at my Idaho Falls concert venue, I found myself backstage in a weakened and emotionally vulnerable state.
So I'm not gonna lie, today's kind of been a hard day. Yesterday, the biggest classical radio station in the UK shared what was a positive feature article of me in the Deseret News, but they took it and rewrote it and basically made it like a very clickbait negative reaction article. This is the first time I've experienced that much like online bullying and slander, like the worst possible things you could imagine. And while I have a thick skin and like I try not to usually let that kind of stuff bother me, but what I just don't appreciate is how it's really sad when you get to a point in society where people care more about an inanimate object than a human life. So yeah, I've had to be strong today and I have to go out and perform tonight, and I'm not really like I haven't been in the best frame of mind today.
I found myself starting to doubt myself as I allowed some of these comments to run through my mind. This whole experience I was dealing with was on a whole other level. As I was backstage fighting through tears to have courage and to do my show that night, I said a prayer and asked for strength and help to get through it all. And then I went out for sound check.
Hello from Idaho Falls. We are doing sound check. So we have a little bit extra time during sound check today, which normally I feel like lately we've been rushing to get sound check done. But
As soon as I sat down and started playing that piano, it was as if a wave of comfort came over me. I remembered why I do what I do. I felt such beauty and peace playing my music at that piano. Nothing else really mattered. I felt a renewed feeling of confidence in my music as well, and as an artist. I gave one of the best concerts of my tour that night, in fact. Played my heart out. And while I didn't mention to the audience what had been happening online that day, the next day I had fans tell me they were shocked to find out, and also a little impressed that I actually made it through my show that well.
this is us leaving. We just finished Idaho Falls. It's almost midnight. I'm gonna push the button. And we are now filling up our car to go drive to Ogden, Utah. We'll probably arrive around 3 or 4 a.m.
Red Star?
Yes, push the number 1 to start. But we're making it work. It's tiring, but we're headed to the next place. Concert went good tonight.
Over the next week, a lot of things happened. My fans really, truly rallied behind me and went to war with the trolls on the Classic FM Facebook post, defending my music and my character relentlessly. Industry producers and friends I've worked with also sent personal letters to the station. My publicists really rallied behind me as well. Within a couple of days, Classic FM removed their Facebook post and sent an apology to my publicist with an open-ended invitation to visit their studios the next time I'm in London. They also updated their article, removed the false information, put in the right info, and got new quotes from me to include in the article. We tried to close the chapter on that awful book and just move on with the tour. Whoever said that sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you was wrong.
Sticks and stones, love.
Something else I've learned is that even though the powers of darkness can be great, the forces of good are always greater. I also used this experience as a way to talk a little bit about online bullying to my audiences.
Makes sense, right? I'm gonna say that again, because I want it to sink in. You can do anything you put your mind to.
I was about to have the busiest concert week of my entire tour with 4 shows in 5 days. So sit down and get ready. We're only just getting started.